Good evening, or perhaps early afternoon, everybody. I don't even remember what time it is. Either way, I'm super excited to be here, and I hope all of you are as well, to the UPL Valorant Grand Finals Fall 2021 edition, whatever you'd like to call them. I am Sepulence, joined by the handsome and talented and wonderful Jag, and we are going to be bringing you, hopefully, 3 maps of close quarters Valorant. Jag, how do you feel tonight, man? We are jumping into Grand Finals.
I mean, this has been the craziest playoffs I think UPL has seen in quite a bit, at least for Valorant.
Easily.
If you were looking at the beginning of playoffs, you were not thinking that we would have University of British Columbia, also known as UBC, going up against Akuma, and that is because they were the number 3 and number 4 seeds coming out of the same conference. So they were knocking off number 1 and number 2 along the way from Phantom, then able to best the rest of their conference, the number 1 and 2 seeds from their side of the bracket. And here we are now, and I gotta say, like, in particular, UBC has looked absolutely phenomenal throughout these playoffs.
Phenomenal almost feels like an insult to how they've been performing so far. I mean, they have just been tearing up these playoffs to this point, and this has been nothing short of UBC all day long. They have really become a very strong, very recognizable team, and I've got to say, Akuma, I don't think I've seen them in a very long time, if ever. So this is quite interesting for me to walk into a grand finals with a team that I personally am not super familiar with.
Yeah, so I think you and I have seen Akuma elsewhere. I don't think we've seen them in
yes.
Unified Premier yet. This is why it's a familiar name. A lot of the players also look familiar, but they have not been streamed once on broadcast this season. They were not in the league during the summer split. So it's just been crazy. Yeah, they were actually supposed to be last week's game, but because of things, we got to see UBC again. And UBC themselves went from not being streamed once in the regular season to now 3 times in a row during the playoffs. So there's a lot of footage on them. And despite this, one of their favorite, actually 2 of their favorite maps are still going to be played today. We're going to see the map pool in just a second, but this is a very scary first map if you're Akuma, I think. This is Haven. This is now a map that you've won a combined, I believe, 26-3 in your last 2 games.
That's the one, my friend. 26-3 over the past 2 games, and we're going to be spicing it up in the middle with my second favorite map in the game. Personally, Split is going to be making an appearance. That's really going to shake up team comps and whatnot, and I think that is going to be Akuma's fighting chance to get back into this tournament. If UBC plays the way they have been, I mean, it's going to be a bloodbath on Haven, right? It has been every time so far, but I can't recall seeing UBC on Split, so that's really going to shake things up.
I saw them, I believe, during the quarterfinals of Los, and I believe they did pretty well on that. It was actually the only map that they've dropped so far, and that was a very close overtime loss in that quarterfinal series. But we saw last week in the semifinals, they still look just as good. 2 13-2s back-to-back in that series over Winthrop, who were the #1 seed. And I feel like we've been talking a lot about UBC, so let's turn our attention a little bit to Akuma. They're undefeated so far in these playoffs. They have not dropped a map. UBC has. They've looked dominant in the maps they've won, but Akuma has not lost a map thus far. They were 2-3 coming into this playoffs. They were actually at a negative win-loss record. And it is kind of hard to say whether or not, really that shows too much, because they've only played 3 maps. UBC has played 5 because they lost 1. Akuma, they got a forfeit win last week due to a substitution that wasn't legal, so they had to their opponent had to forfeit a map originally. And then the maps they've played overall have been much closer. I think I saw 13-10, 13-5, 13-11. So those 3 maps, much closer overall than we've seen from UBC.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact that Akuma is here is pretty impressive. The last thing I will say about this is that they actually have played against each other, because they were in the same conference during the regular season, and that was a 2-1 victory for UBC.
Oh, I hope it's something close like that. But before we jump into game, let me pull us out of the games, out of the teams for a second, and talk about somebody very close to both of us. J2, a wonderful social media manager. We know, rumor has it is your birthday today. I hope you're watching. If you're not, it's your birthday, so we understand. But we love you very much, and we hope you have a great birthday. I hope people watching in chat can also tell J2 happy birthday, because I know he'd really appreciate it. Okay, got that out of the way. J2, we love you, but we've got some Valor we got to get back to talking about. So I can't wait for this. I hope it's a 2-1. I hope every map takes us into overtime. I hope it is just absolute insanity all the way across all 3 of these maps. But I am unbelievably excited to be starting with Haven, because that means we're probably going to be seeing that possibly Reyna Jet. We talked about this a little bit before we jumped into the broadcast. Just agent select. 5 off the top of your head. What comp do you think we're going to be seeing?
All right, so I mean, it's going to be, I think, the Reyna Jet. I think the double duelist has really come into fruition. The biggest question is, do you run a Sky? I feel like I think we're going to see an Astra versus an Omen. I think those are the only 2 controllers, primary smokers you're going to see here, and then a Sova. So if you're not running the Sky, what else can you run? What else do you want to run? And that's going to be the question. It could be a Cypher, it could be a Killjoy, and already most of the picks that we're talking about have come in, and this could be a mirror matchup right across the board. It really comes down to Romy.
Yeah, I suspect it personally. I think this is just the logical comp, so to speak. I think that's one we're most likely to be seeing. And Romy, I would be more than amazed if these duelists were locked in, but I highly doubt that we're going to be seeing them. The Astra on both sides makes a lot of sense. Sova, of course, he is a powerhouse player on this map as well. And I wouldn't be against the Omen pick, honestly.
Yeah, it can work. Tonrock has already locked in the Astra, so I really don't think they're going to go controller. But I do like Omen here and on Bind. I feel like those are his best 2 maps. Oh,
what?
That is not what we were expecting. That is a breach coming in hot. That
has to be a misclick. That has to be a misclick. No chance. Romy just locked a breach in a grand finals map 1.
It can work. I'm not going to say it will work, but his stun abilities are really, really good. I mean, he can stun, he can damage, he can knock you up in the air. There's so many things that a breach can do. He's kind of the ultimate engagement tool. And the reason you don't see him played as much anymore is because so many other characters can do the same thing while having more versatile kits. So Romy, on this character really doesn't have to be doing one job and one job only. But if you do it really well, it works out amazingly. The one thing to note is that this is a breach on defense first. This is not a defensive-sided agent.
Yeah, this is a choice. My only guess, perhaps I'm creating a narrative that doesn't exist, but maybe Romy used to be a breach player. This might be going back to comfortable roots, right? This may be what I would refer to in a couple of other games as a comfort pick, a comfort swap, if you will. So, I don't know. I'm eager to see what Romy brings to the table, because this breach, I mean, it can make this just as much as it can break it.
And you're going to see, I think they're going to play very aggressively around this, and that's why you see them going up super close.
Oh, Hammer with 1, but going to get traded out straight away by Carno there. So a 1-for-1 trade. However, I've got to say losing the Astra, notably worse than losing your Jet in a scenario like this one. You need that Astra. You need that cover to engage, and I wonder if that's really going to bite UBC in the butt here in round 1.
Well, they did take over A already. You see Romy and the rest of the squad is backed up. There is a rotation coming in near Garden around B, but that rotation, it's going to take so long for them to get there. If they don't get a little pep in their step, it might not matter if they're able to catch them from behind and off guard.
Yeah, this is going to be great. The spike plant already coming through for UBC, so of course, even if they lose the round, they get those additional credits here in round 2. Romy already bringing out some breach action. Might be able to get a great flash, but you're going to need the quick engagement off the back of it. A couple people giving away in hell here, so it's going to be that locale. Maybe a bit of a drop in. Oh, Jeff goes for the power play. Gets traded out straight away. Romy finds Coco in the chaos, but Outshine and Mach putting him down. Carno finds 1, but cannot clean up the remaining 2. UBC, they're going to walk away with that round 1 victory.
Yeah, you brought up a really good point at the beginning of that. Even though they lost Hammer, they lost their Astra, they lost their smokes, their nebulas to hide them. They were able to rotate so easily onto the point.
Yeah.
They didn't really need that cover, honestly. They were just able to take natural cover. They were able to hide out in hell, able to hide out behind some boxes. And the rotation did finally come through from Akuma, but it took a little bit too long for them to make anything with it. It's going to be that first round going to UBC, and I mean, that's kind of expected from them at this point. And Yams
yeah,
going to be going with the Vandal. We know how deadly this can be if you mess this up. If you lose that, it could turn the round around completely.
And Outshine with a Spectre, able to find a kill, has to dash out straight away, still might bite the bullet. Tana is going to be able to get danger kill. He does find Jeff in the very same, so it's going to be a great opportunity here. UBC already finding themselves up. Outshine lives to tell the tale. Forget about whatever I was just saying. That Jet can't be any more than, what, 10 HP, maybe? Like, I'd be shocked to see double digits.
And they completely taken over the point where they made so much noise. A, it leaves C completely in the hands of the attackers. And yeah, 1 health. That is what they are living on right now. A hope and a prayer has gotten this Jet across the finish line for now, but Carno could take them out by just kind of even, I would say, just they sniffle on them and it's over.
Yeah. Yeah, Carno needs a fraction of a bullet to touch that Jet, and she goes down. However, Carno still has to win a 3v1 with no util available and just a Spectre to their name. Hammer is going to be able to clean that kill up quick, and UBC finds themselves up 2-0. I would love to say I'm shocked, Jack. I really would.
This is what we've been expecting. It's been utter dominance on this map so far in the last 2 weeks. This is really where I think they take advantage of teams. When they win this round, that should go good. The bonus round coming out for Akuma, where they get the full buy and UBC more is staying with what they have because they want to be able to buy next round instead of forcing here. Every time UBC takes this round away, that is when you can just see that their confidence is at an all-time high, and the other team they're usually facing just can never find a rhythm after this. It's early. Losing the bonus isn't too terrible in the grand scheme of things, but once you lose your mental and your fortitude, like, it's just downhill.
So many esports are just as much, as, if not more, about mental than about physical. Valorant is no exception. If you let yourself slip early, it's going to be really tough to claw back. And going down 2-0, I mean, it's difficult. So many times when I'm playing, you know, we'll be down 4-0, the team tries to forfeit, right? They're like, oh, this is losable, right? You get in that mindset, you can't help yourself. But yeah, us last night, 3 games in a row, but nobody has to know that. Nyanja is going to be able to find a kill onto Yam. So the Vandal down, that's going to be crucial. I mean, not only the Reyna is gone, that entry, that duelist, but the Vandal as well. Losing it this early, I mean, it costs a lot to buy in the early game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the best weapon they had online, too. And maybe they can rotate and someone else can pick it up. And I think that's probably why they're using this Aldrin to try to scout it out, see if anyone is able to pick it up off the ground. But in the meantime, like, UBC, they're just kind of taking their sweet time. They really haven't done anything beyond losing someone. The spike isn't even currently in anyone's hands. It's just down on the ground.
Right.
I think they're trying to find some sort of entry frag, but it's going to be really difficult because they're down one person.
Being down that one can, of course, make all the difference in a 5v4. Each agent is so unbelievably important. To have all those teammates alive in firefights and to check corners, so on and so forth, can really help you out. But UBC, if they lose this pistol round, or this bonus round, excuse me, I'm pretty sure this is a round they often lose. They usually win Haven in those 13-3s, 13-2s. I'm pretty sure this pistol round is usually one of them.
Sometimes they lose the bonus. Sometimes they just win it outright, honestly.
Yeah.
Again, and like, this isn't an expectation for them to win it anyway, so if they get it, that's nice. But I don't even know if they're going to get the spike planted in time or not.
Wow. Not only did they not get the spike planted, but Tonrak just rips him apart. I mean, that was a 3K before the Astra fell, completely resets the economy, and UBC, they can't, I mean, maybe they can force full buy here. Yeah, they're going to be able to, but if they lose this one, their economy's really going to be hurting going into round 5.
I would say it's honestly the same for both teams. This is really when,
Yeah, very true.
It's really the pistol round and this round are the first time in this series where you're on equal footing, and then, depending on how things go, it could be a lot or a little on both being able to buy. UBC, they are able to take out 2, which is okay. I feel like they could have gotten more. They could have gotten a spike plant, maybe an extra credits from that, but they took too long. And I think because of that, they realized like that was a round they could have gotten at least a lot more out of, even if it wasn't the round win. And you see in their tempo right now, they're moving very quickly.
Yeah, quickly definitely seems to be the tempo that of choice, so to speak. A lot of holding W, a lot of holding left click, just looking for those speed engagements. Tonrak dismisses Yams before Yams is even aware there's a firefight happening. The Reyna goes down once again, and I don't even think they're doing it on purpose, but the Reyna falling Yams is such a powerhouse player for UBC that for them to go down so early, round after round, is really going to be hurting UBC here. They're going to have to change something up. Oh. Great shot from Alshine there. Takes that counter jet offline and ties things back up at that 4-4.
Oh, they need to get the defuse.
Oh,
That's
no!
gonna be the shock dart right into the gravity well every time. It's just set up.
Gotta go. Oh, you have to hustle, and they pushed in sloppy. They didn't push in as a full team, and Coco wins the round, but the damage has been done. The spike was defused, so you still technically lose it. Devastatingly unfortunate. Things tied up early here on Haven, 2-2. Akuma, they have felt in the driver's seat after that bonus round.
Yeah, and they're going to at least be in the driver's seat from around. It was a great ultimate there by Tonrak to get the Cosmic Divide down. The placement of it, I mean, you get the camera that's still on point, but when someone is found out, like, they're going to know where it is and they can destroy it. I think it actually might have been better just to leave the camera up, not tagged anyone up, and that way they have that vision. And Alshide actually could have had a really good rotation, but decided instead to play it safe, and because of that, they just took too long.
I was surprised not to see the rotation, honestly. You'd opened up Garage. You had a great opportunity to sneak up behind, but instead they played it a little bit slower and paid the price for it. Romy with a great flash early on, but Coco simply does not need to see to kill. Gets a double headshot there and will get taken out by that jet into the blink of an eye. The Blade Storm now online for the both of them, and all 5 going to be missed, but Nyonza is going to be distracted. Yams gets that Vengeance kill. That jet keeps taking that Reyna offline now. 4v2 in favor of UBC, and a moment ago, I said it felt like Akuma was in the driver's seat, and UBC heard me. Their feelings were hurt, and they're here to show us why they found their spot in Grand Finals. Outshine with the shorty kill. There is some insult on that one. Now Tonrak is going to be coming through here. Tonrak might be able to find a little bit of action, but still at 2v1, it's going to be tough to turn around.
It is. There's a possible Cypher roll that could come out, too.
No.
Oh, that's taking the fall damage. That is not a good way to start off this engagement.
I mean, half your health pool just immediately down. That hurts, and Hemmer doesn't even have to try. Down to 10 HP, but it only took a single bullet to dismiss Tonrak from that fight. So UBC, they find their 3rd round win. Jumping into round 6, they've got a decent economy. They got an operator for free because Nyonza got a little too confident with it early on, and now they're in a really good position, but you talked about it. Round 6 here, Akuma, their econ's garbage.
Yeah, what's crazy is that, like, this is not a situation you find yourselves in. That was a thrifty round. UBC, they did force buy a little bit, but, you saw that there was a shorty on their side coming out from Outshine, so they bought what they could. It worked wonders. They took away the operator because they gave up their positioning there, and now Outshine's going to have it themselves.
Oh! Want to know a secret about me? I know we've gone away from the jet, but I just want to share something. I despise this operator skin. I think it is so ugly. I don't know. I also feel like I can't aim with it. I think it's just so distracting, but I personally hope Outshine
What do you think of
the
new one then? The what is it called? The Mage Punk?
Oh, Mage Punk is my favorite set in the game. I'm
like
probably gonna go buy it. Oh. No, I liked the original one more. I like the new Melee a lot, but I'm not a huge fan of the Op skin. I just bought that comic book set or the Borderlands set, whatever you want to call it. I just bought that, and I don't know if I like the Mage Punk enough. I just wish it was Mage Punk 1.0. But speaking of 1.0, here comes Coco playing just like Valorant 1.0. Simply does not need to aim to kill. Comes around the corner, finds a great shot opportunity, and now Mach is going to be able to find a kill with the Bulldog onto Tonrak, and Outshine puts on Carno. That's the UBC I remember. They just tore that round apart in the blink of an eye.
I think the crazy thing there is Mach actually just like completely ignored the fact that Tonrak was behind them. Was just like, I mean, you just lost the person you're running in with, and you're like, no, that's fine. And I believe that was actually a stinger.
I said Bulldog, didn't I? That was a stinger.
It makes it a bit. Yeah. I mean, they're very similar. They both have burst fires when you aim down sights, and then pretty good rapid fire when you're hip firing. But that was the lowest buy for them. Now Mock's able to get a full gun. It's back to full weaponry. So UBC has given up their 2 rounds that they've given up to everyone else thus far. Will they give up anything more?
The highest they've given up so far, I believe, is 3. So Akuma has a little bit more wiggle room, but Outshine taking out that counter jet early has an op in their hands, and all of a sudden a terrifying consideration comes to life. Jeff just barely, with the reverse, able to find 2 kills, looking for a third, down to 58 HP, but it's going to be taken out, not before taking out Outshine. Almost a perfect round there for that Sova, but unfortunately, going to get taken offline. Now 93 HP. Hammer has to give up on that spike plant. Completely unaware on where these opponents are, but a couple of missed shots give them away. Now slow rotation on boxes. They've got to be careful. Hammer can collateral here.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're stacked up on top of each other right now. This could be
there's
deadly. That's one.
There's 2! Oh, clean as a whistle. Hammer comes through, able to find that 3K, 23 HP to win the round. That's the scary thing about UBC is all 5 of them have this just like solo carry, this anime protagonist potential to come out in situations like that and win.
I like, first of all, that we did the exact same reaction. I think you owe me a soda. I think that's a Jinx moment. But secondly, I'll let you talk though. Don't worry.
I was gonna say jinxing me right now is a horrible idea.
No. You can talk. Don't worry. But yeah, I mean that's the thing about UBC that's so dangerous. Hammer, is putting in a pretty performance 7-3, but they are just able to clutch it out and play so calmly.
Yeah, it's that calm, cool, and collected play style that really gives this team that advantage. Already, Yams and Hammer ripping a couple of players apart. Akuma loses 2 early on, and Nyonza falls as well. Here goes Romy. Is this a flawless mock? We'll make sure that it is all 5 players down in what couldn't have been more than, 10 seconds?
Yeah, it was very quick. I was not counting it, and honestly, even if I did, we already know that numbers/math is not our strong suit, so I'd probably mess it up. But this is what we expect from UBC. They struggle a little bit more at the beginning, I think, than we expect. Usually those rounds, maybe they'll lose the bonus and they'll lose one near the end for the side swap, but already 8 rounds in, they're at 6-2. Double digits still is very much on the board. Their alt banks looking good. But I think really it comes back to Nyonza now. They have an operator in their hands. They're playing on C long. They take out Hammer here, are able to win some sort of opt, it would be huge, and they just need some sort of momentum, because even though they're getting some opening picks, they're not really being able to follow up on it.
Yeah, I really like this play as well to have Romy hold close and cubby there, because even if, Hammer gets that kill onto Nyonza, there's still Romy right there to clean up off the back of it. However, just a very slow pace, very slow momentum now. Coco even gets to fly away. I definitely did not expect that to happen, but they will fly away. Tone Rock is going to find Coco, but traded out in the blink of an eye by Mock. A very slow round, a lot slower than the last couple that we've seen. UBC, they know they lost somebody early. They've got to pull back a little bit. They can't just be holding W here.
Just take Mock putting out the camera. It looks like a bit of a fake. Didn't even want to actually find any information out, and now Hammer might be looking for this play once again. Romy has not moved, so they've been in the same place. Right. Oh, that's just a jiggle peek. Romy not going to bite the bait yet. Oh, this is going to be so good for Romy if they win this. Peekers usually do have the advantage, but you're not even looking the right way. They looked for a second.
Hammer did that thing that we all fall victim to, where you look and you just assume no one is there, and then by the time you look back, the damage has been done. Romy down to 9 HP, but again, damage been done. Outshine taken out by Nyonza. Akuma, they've hit that 3. Can they break the curse? Can they take us up to that 4? And give UBC a reminder that Akuma currently undefeated.
Yeah, they have not lost a map thus far in playoffs, which is crazy, again, because we talked about this during the pregame. This was a team that was 2-3. They were the lowest seed coming in. One of the only 2 teams, I believe, that were negative during the regular season. This is a team they lost to, actually, too. UBC won this matchup during the regular season, the last week of the regular season as well. So this is not, too far of a matchup. That was only 3-4 weeks ago. And they are holding their own, at least at the beginning. Very possible they can tie this up and make it 6-6.
Oh, I would love to see it. Like I said, I want this to be as close as possible. I'm horrible at this game, so I live vicariously through these players when they play well. So I would love to see as much good Valorant as possible. Romy there, losing a firefight. You definitely don't expect them to. Mock down to 87 HP, but, I mean, still plenty to work with. Losing that breach early. Now you've got some recon on the Cypher. Coco caught out. Cardinals aggression there. A dangerous play, but a successful one at that, tying things back up on that 4-4. 5 ultimates across the board right now. Jag, do you think we're going to be seeing any as this round progresses?
We already saw the Neural Theft being used. No, that's 2 kills. They took out Nyonza. I was like, maybe before it's 4v4, you use the Cosmic Divide, but I feel like at this point, you don't need to use anything.
Yeah, I mean, that was in the 4v4 ultimates were a lot more likely, but UBC making sure they don't need to use them. Just stacking them up, saving them for a rainy day. Outshine going to be dashing in, trying to get some recon here, but Jeff takes out 2. Honestly, crucial. Now it's going to be on to Tonrock. Maybe they're able to find a kill on the Yams. 1v1. We saw Mach win this 1v1 earlier a couple of rounds ago. Will they win it again? They certainly will. Tonrock doesn't even get to pull the trigger before it's going to be Mach securing that 7th round win for UBC.
That's a guaranteed lead now, and I think the economy once again for Akuma, yeah, it's not going to be terrific. It is enough to buy for the most part. They do get another operator. But they're going to have to go for some bulldogs, some light armor. This is really the swan song, I would say, of Akuma right here. If they can't win this round, then the rest of this will probably be snowballed this side at least, this half, before we get to the halftime. But 3-7, 3-9, honestly, that's some of the best first half performance we've seen from teams against UBC thus far in playoffs.
100% true. Even if Akuma can take this up 7-5, that's better than anyone else we've seen on Haven against UBC. So that could be a saving grace, a sign of hope. And Nyonza just did not have the crosshair on the right spot there. However, Jeff is going to be there to trade. Here comes Mach around the corner, also taken out. There's the Bulldog. That's the Bulldog. I misspoke earlier. That's the Bulldog making a great appearance. And Hammer knows somebody's in that corner, has no idea about Tonrock, though. So possibly going to be walking into a bit of a swing attack. Hammer goes through. The tripwire's fallen. But like I said, you're about to get pincered. There goes one. Coco gets the trade. No idea about Tonrock on that corner. Akuma, it looks like they've broken the curse. Outshine has to drop a 3K here, or Akuma's going to get that 4th point.
As the Bladestorm, it only has an operator, which we know, yep, they're going to throw it over the side. I would say no free weapons in Valorant, so that's a smart play. That way they can get up. They have the spike, too, so there's a real potential where they can still get the plant down and force them to the point. How do they want to play this? I think the biggest thing is you really need to find a Vandal or a Phantom right now to really be able to take those firefights, especially if you use your Bladestorm and you miss, or you use the alternate fire and use everything. But B is free, so it should be a plan.
There it is. Yeah, B is completely free. And, to talk about that Bladestorm again, there's that thing. If you right-click now, you don't refresh the blades. So that is a 1-kill guarantee and nothing more. You've got to be landing those headshots on the Jet to make it worth it. Outshine with the very gentle rotation around the corner to make sure that doesn't pick them up. Oh, falls for the jiggle, not once, but twice. Is not able to find that 3rd kill, down to 46 HP. Only a shorty to their name. Diving in, knows they hit the Sova at least once. And is going to find the updraft kill. Gets the operator to boot. Probably just going to go for a save now. You might as well.
Yeah, now, I mean, you give up your operator. You force out the Cosmic Divide. That is very
no way!
I mean, Akuma's desperate. They want to win rounds. Not desperate, but, they need this. So they get it. And it's an ult for an operator. You get it back after you give one up. Honestly, I feel like you're pretty happy if you're UBC that you get a kill, get a gun, and you get the spike plant.
Yeah, you get a lot of great things. You get the additional credits, like you said. You make it out with the operator, the most expensive gun in the game, and you lose the round, but you still have that guaranteed advantage moving into the next half. I think if we go 7-5, Akuma has an incredible opportunity to turn this around, especially when that breach swaps over to the offense. I think he's such a good initiator. I think he is so great at creating space. But UBC, if they win this 8-4, that momentum might travel over. Of course, it'll all get reset at that second pistol round. However, let's get through this one first. A great flash coming out early there from Romy on the breach. Not going to be able to really delay anything, but an aggressive Hunter's Fury from Akuma here. Jeff, desperate to find a couple of kills. Even a hit here could be huge for Akuma later in the round.
Yeah, they did hit onto the Reyna, but again, she can heal herself if she's able to be a part of a kill. So Yams probably not too upset about that. Also has the Empress online, so
yeah.
I mean, the thing is, this is also the last round, so you got to use these ultimates now or never, which is probably why they used that Hunter's Fury so early, but there's still Hunter's Fury left for UBC now.
Yeah, the Hunter's Fury could make, I mean, a big difference as soon as you ping somebody, as soon as you get even half a thought on where somebody might be, that'd be some great success. Oh, a lot of action already. Nyonza with the Judge, my personal favorite weapon in the game, takes out Yam, so no Empress making an appearance. Outshine finds Nyonza with that operator, a headshot to boot. That 4v4 online now. Cosmic Divide available. Actually, 4 separate ultimates available. I'm not going to do us the justice of naming all 4 of them, but I'm sure they're all going to be making an appearance one way or another. Mach in the back line takes out Romy. The Breach ultimate will not be seen here in the first half, and I'm shocked the Neural Theft. Oh no, it did actually show up. That makes more sense. The Neural Theft making an appearance now. Jeff caught on the high ground. That spray and pray from UBC. They are desperate for that kill.
Shot dart's going to be thrown in. So many rotations. Oh, that's a miss by Outshine. It's going to be another hit, though, and this is looking good for UBC overall.
Yeah, definitely so. The Cosmic Divide comes out. You've got the Hunter's Fury, but I think now you just use it to be flashy, right? I don't think you're really going to need it. You play this correctly. Mach waiting on the corner. Looks like Aoshan's going to be able to find Jeff, and all of a sudden it is Tonrak on their lonesome. There is that Hunter's Fury, just going straight to the point. Tonrak, I would love to see them turn this corner and drop a 4K, to be honest, but I just know it's not going to happen. Tonrak finds Aoshan, but Hemmer will get that trade kill. UBC, they're going up 8-4, moving into the second half of Haven. If Akuma wants to turn it around, it's right here, right now.
Yeah, and again, this is the second closest we've seen a team play UBC so far in this playoff.
Which is wild to
say.
say.
The other one was during quarterfinals, and that was an ascent that was, I believe, I want to say a 14-12, and all of a sudden maybe a 16-14. It went to overtime. It was very, very close.
I think it was 16-14.
Yeah, and that was made on the second half. That comeback was made mostly when the sides swapped, and now this is a perfect time. You mentioned it before, the Breach, a great initiator, very good at pushing on to a point. He's okay at delaying like a push, but I feel like Sky's better over guiding light than what you have in a Breach kit. And the other thing is that this is an attacker-sided map. We always talk about this. 3 points, much harder for the defense to cover the entirety of the map. So as an attacker, Akuma's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, looking quite good indeed. They are in a very comfortable spot if they're able to succeed. Okay, Nyonza going for just the immediate plant, chooses to tuck tail and get out of dodge. I can't say I blame them on that. It definitely seemed like the smarter play to not let yourself fall for the spike plant, but you've also given away your location, and that's a little more what I'm worried about.
We'll see if your worries come into fruition. As that's going to be Yams getting one, but that's the problem with the Soul Orb. You got to be in direct line of sight, and because of that, you got to peek. And when you peek, you might get your head chopped off.
Yeah, I went for the heal, had no idea somebody else was over there, and
yeah, it looks like we have lost Septons for the time being, unfortunately.
they had the price of their life for it, that one-to-one.
Septon, see you back.
Howdy. I don't know what's going on.
There you are.
I'm here. We've got
You're
that 4v4.
a little bit bigger there.
We've got that 4v4 mirror matchup, and I can only hope that it is going to be Akuma coming through.
Sounds like we might have lost him again, so I'm going to...
I think I've got a little bit of info in my ears being a little goofy. I think my router is possibly having a bit of a ball right now. But UBC coming through already, going for that spike defuse, but they're not going to be able to find it. Carno picks up 2. Coco counter kill with Carno. Possible? No, not possible. Just a clean ace across the board there. All 5 going down in the pistol round.
And that is the first ace we have seen of the series. 13 maps in, and Akuma winning the first pistol round that I've seen UBC drop in, I think, the entirety of the playoffs. Yeah, ages at least. So that is a big momentum setter. And you said 5-7, that would have been great. If they'd be able to get there, that would have mean that things are probably going to be tied up here. Still only being down 2 rounds when all is said and done, including the bonus round going to UBC, puts yourself in a great position to continue to make this map closer and closer.
Yeah, I mean, 8-5, and you've won the pistol round? Like, that's huge. That's honestly amazing. That is going to be a great opportunity. You've got the Econ event. Did they buy any Vandals? I didn't get a close enough look, but it looks like they may not need them. Carno comes around that corner, dismisses Yams early, and it looks like Outshine is going to be the next to go down. 5v3 in favor of Akuma Esports. I think they've already got this round in the bag.
Yeah, Coco finds 1, but the spikes being planted. Hemmer's trying to get there with only a classic. Maybe they find 1 more. That camera's and immediately... Oh, it's actually going to be right around the corner a little bit. So they do find 1 more. It's still 1-3.
Yeah, Hemmer gets gravity well, then Tonrak just is in the right spot, able to clean things up there. Akuma, they've won 2 rounds. Now, however, UBC, this is their opportunity to really turn things around. Let's see if they go for that full buy. It looks like they're going to choose a couple of Vandals, a Phantom in the mix as well. Jag, do you think UBC's doing anything wrong, or do you think that second round was just because they lost that pistol round?
I think it's just because they lost the pistol round. And they were really smart of it, too. They weren't trying to force buy there. They didn't really have to match any firepower. Sometimes you try to catch your enemies off guard and go for a Spectre or Stinger buy just because it might, you think usually if you win the pistol round, you have a free ticket and you've got better weaponry. So you try to be the equalizer there and catch them by surprise. But this time they're playing for the round. They know they can win instead.
Right.
Because this is a much closer match than, they've had previously. And despite that, despite having a lot of leads early on, they are going to play this very smart.
And you've got to wonder, is that going to be hurting UBC's mental a little bit, maybe getting a little bit shaken up? You storm your way all the way to grand finals. You kick in the door every single match, 13-2, 13-3. So now Akuma, they're keeping things close. They're keeping this a difficult matchup. Maybe that's going to scare UBC a little bit. Carno, I'm amazed, won that fight. Commits to the neural theft, which of course they already have because they aced in round 1. Coco and Hemmer getting a couple of kills of their own, trying to keep the dream alive, and it looks like they're going to be able to do so. Mach takes out Jeff, and UBC going up 9-6. 4 rounds away of ending Haven. Let's see if they can keep these wheels moving.
Yeah, and it's a round win, and it's expensive, but they lose 3 people along the way, which means their economy is not going to be good enough to go for a full buy. As you see already, Coco going to have to go for the light armor to afford a Vandal. Yam's going to go for the Spectre instead of full armor. So the choice is, do you go for a lighter, or I guess a less powerful weapon, less expensive weapon for more protection, or vice versa? In this case, it's a bit of both. And now Akuma, they can full buy, so Akuma does have a slight lead going into this.
Yeah, and that slight lead can make all the difference. Let's see what they're able to do with it. I'm just so amazed. UBC, their current leaderboard, top frag has 14, bottom frag has 11. Only 3 kills separating these players right now. So it's just incredible to see a team so well-rounded, no solo carries. Because on the side of Akuma, we're seeing that Cypher up at the top, and I think it was 16 kills maybe, but way more than the bottom, which was currently sitting at 5. So that's just a very interesting dynamic to kind of keep an eye out on. Outshine is going to be able to take out Nyonza early, already a 4v2. Akuma, I mean, do you go for the plant here? Do you think you just rush in and try to plant to get those credits?
I don't see why not, but there's only one person left, and Tom Rock knows there's someone behind them, so it's now or never. Instead, they're actually just going to wait for the angle and window. They might find out Yams. Yams is going... Yeah, it looks like they're going the other way. Their paths are about to cross. What? Hold on. What? All right. I swear there... The last member of Akuma saw that. I thought Tonrock saw that, but I guess not.
It's surprising how those things seem to go. I lost my feed for a moment. I just heard you go, what? Hold on. And then we were in the next round, so I don't know what happened.
So basically what happened was they were both up the stairs, like leading up to window, and at least from my POV, it looks like you could see the top there of Yam's head from Tonrock's POV, but maybe they didn't see it. Maybe they just wanted to avoid it because it wasn't worth giving away where they were. But regardless, it's a UBC win. And now Akuma, they cannot buy.
Oh, Tonrock is going to take some serious damage. I mean, I say serious, still has 85 HP, but Nyonza with the Judge. This is not a map you often see the Judge, especially when you're pushing A long like this, and Nyonza's going to pay the price for it. I think a very risky play, one that certainly didn't work out. Let's see if Coco can win this firefight. No, Carno and Tonrock are going to find a kills of their own. Jeff picks up Outshine, and all of a sudden... I mean, UBC started strong. They found the jet, but now it's going to be a 4v2. This is a thrifty for them.
Yeah, and it's still winnable for the side of UBC, but they've got numbers advantage to deal with.
No.
Hammers going to have to look the other way. They do. Okay. Makes it a little bit better. I think the biggest thing is that Yams has an Empress, so that could really put them across the finish line. But Yams has also been, as you said, like only 3 kills separating them, but they've been one of the weaker performing members, I'd say, thus far.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Now, Tonrock chooses the Judge, and it pays off. The thrifty round comes to fruition. Now 10-7. And Jag, while we're between rounds, can you remind everybody at home what these teams are fighting for?
Yeah, it is for that first place title of UPL Fall Round, being the champs, but it's not just for the title, it's also for quite a bit of money. $2,000 prize pool overall. First place, they get $1,200. Second place, going back home with $500. And at the same time, there is a third place match being fought over the remainder of that prize pool. But unfortunately, we are not covering that. We are only covering the first place grand final here. And so far, it has been quite a close endeavor.
Yeah, 10-7. Akuma, they've really found their footing here. And I'm curious because I really thought Romy was going to kind of step into that top frag position, but instead has fallen a little bit quiet. Oh, no way! What? I wish I could play Jet like that. That is so impressive to me. Just found that tap and lived to tell the tale. I would have been 1-for-1 traded there. It would have been horrible. But Coco now takes out Nyonza, gets traded by Romy, that silent player I talked about a moment ago. Outshine finds 3 before going down, and that is enough to help UBC walk away with that 11th round victory. Moving into round 19, UBC, they are 2 rounds shy of winning Haven.
And it looked really good for Akuma after getting that thrifty on the previous round.
Very
that was
true.
Huge momentum burst. It gave them an economy once more. They were able to buy. They were able to just take weapons away that were on the ground, so they didn't even really have to buy after the reset. But because their economy has just been down the drain so much, even after winning a great round like that, after losing the next one, the previous one, you can see now they're just kind of all over the place. Their Jet also doesn't have the Blaze from online. Only 1 away So there's a good chance that Nyanza just goes for it, or they try to, put a Nebula down for it or something like that. It looks like that's the play. Yep, there it is. We'll have to see how this is played out, because Yamza looks like just wants to engage on it.
Oh my goodness! Just amazing trigger discipline, better control, absolutely fantastic play there coming out. It looks like Jeff is going to be able to find a kill onto the Cypher on the side of UBC, but oh wait, Coco's going to be there to clean it up, cleaning house. Never mind, that kill on the Cypher hardly matters at this point because Coco in the back line, Yams to boot, 3v1. If anybody's going to frag out though, it's going to be Carno.
Yeah, and it is only one person left now. It is Carno. And there's not much else that can be done here. It looks like this is going to be penultimate round in the books for UBC. And the thing is that Carno doesn't even have the spike right now. That spike very, very far away from him.
Yeah, that's arguably the worst part, is that he can't even go for the plant. Carno has to go for kills, sees the gun, but not peeking the corner. There it is! Carno, great trigger discipline, however, has given their locale away. Has to win this one, just run and gun, hold W in, maybe wait for a quick engagement, but is going to be walking into a 2v1. And caught out by Yams in the blink of an eye with a 3K there. So one of those silent players earlier really coming to life. UBC possibly giving us our penultimate round here on Haven.
And I said just a few rounds ago, maybe like only a round ago, that Yams, one of their lesser performing players, but now it's completely swapped. I mean, now Yams 17-12, only one away from first place, and that's the thing we talked about. Like, this is a team full of everyone can be the carry,
and then look at
not
Akuma.
Everyone has to be all the time. Like, there's only so many kills that can go around.
Right.
But when everyone's in double digits, it's great. On the other side, Akuma, Carno, and Tonrock really are getting things done, but Romy and Nyanza, they're struggling quite a bit more, and that is why UBC now is on match point.
Yeah, it's definitely just the fact that everybody from UBC can carry when they need to most, and Akuma unfortunately hasn't been able to find that same footing. Coco, smart enough to tuck tail and get out of dodge there on B side, goes for the Hunter's Fury around the corner, found a shot onto the Jet, but that dash is so darn tricky, it's so difficult to find where they end up afterward. Carno with a great flank down to C side. Romy finds that first kill onto Hemmer. There's going to be a trade out onto Romy. The Cosmic Divide made an appearance. Nyonza 1 HP. Tonrock finds Outshine, and I mean, could this 1 HP be enough to turn the tides? It looks like the judge, you turn the corner at the worst time! Timing is everything. Coco takes out Nyonza, and all of a sudden, UBC, they have got themselves in the driver's seat. Never mind! Carno rips the wheel out of their hands and takes it back, for Akuma finds another kill, perhaps will find it onto Mach. It is up to Yams to win this round, but if I do say so myself, I think Akuma is going to keep themselves in this. There's one, though. Only two more.
Oh, has to pull out the pistol. Yeah, they ran out of ammo there, and Akuma, they continue to find ways to stay alive. That was another thrifty round. So that's 2 thrifty rounds now they've won in a row to keep this map alive, not falling just yet. And now they can buy. So again, Akuma, it's pretty impressive that they continue to just find ways to continue the map onward. Like, I'm trying to think of other ways to say it. Like, the fact that this map is still going on has been very, very, very just impressive.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be as interesting as the two Guardians on the side of Akuma, but it looks like they also realized, wait, maybe we shouldn't have two Guardians because they swapped one of them out for a Vandal. I love the Guardian. I just think it's a very accurate weapon. You've got to be super careful on it, so to have two players with it is always a dangerous option. Oh, Coco caught out by Romy early on. That's really going to hurt. All of that recon, all of that information that Sova can often provide just down the drain. Mach now has no idea who he's walking into him.
This is starting to remind me a lot of the OC Esports game. OCE was able to have this amazing comeback against UBC on Ascent, and it just started off with a few 50 rounds, and then all of a sudden they were just back in the game. Their economy was good, and they were able to force overtime.
And forcing that overtime, I mean, could be disastrous for UBC. However, Akuma, Outshine, it is up to you. I mean, you and Yams left alive, but Outshine the only one on the point. Tonrock falls. You got to find 4 more. Almost finds the breach, does find the Jet. It is up to Yams. Honestly, do you pop Empress Jag? Yes or no?
No, it's not needed just yet. This is like not do or die. You still have 3 more rounds you can give up after this before you get into an OT scenario. So I think you save this for another day. You save your weapons as well because your economy is going to start being bit into. I'm not even sure they can buy next round. We'll have to see. I did not pay attention to how much credits they had left over. But Akuma, like, this is just quite a comeback. They are finally, like, I would say this is a very equal game, and they could force overtime depending on how things go.
Yeah, it looks like Yams has tucked his tail and decided to hide all the way back on C-site near that orb location. But you're going for the save. Honestly, a super intelligent play. You keep the Vandal and the Econ for UBC. Like you said, probably not going to be great this round. So they're really going to have to be careful with that engagement. Let's see what they can buy. Oh, a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, so Yams gets to save the Vandal, but no one else can go for it. They're going to have to go for a light buy of their own. We've seen that Akuma has had 2 thrifty rounds so far. Can they have their own here? This is where things, like, this is where Akuma really turns things around. They win this. It's the next round that really matters the most. Then they're almost guaranteed to go to that OT scenario because the economy is not stable enough from UBC anymore.
Yeah, UBC, I mean, if they play it slow, if they buy low enough, they can, I think they'll just barely meet the bottom of the barrel to full buy next round, but that'll just be a full buy across the board. They'll have no statistical advantage. They'll have no fire rate advantage. They'll have no kit advantage. They've got a couple of ultimates, but Akuma has some as well, so it really seems like that's going to be a fair footing lineup. A great engagement already from Akuma, the flash from Romy. However, they choose not to follow up off the back of it. This Breach has also been sitting on that ultimate for quite a while, so I want to see when they choose to pull that trigger.
They never saw it in the last half. They had it for the entirety of their defense and never used it. And this is where I think UBC has been the best, is when they're able to flank on their defense. And Yams right now in the perfect position to maybe get a 2-piece.
Maybe if they play their cards right. However, Town Rock just barely out of that line of sight many a time. Incredibly careful. Yams holding mid entirely on their lonesome. Everybody else slowly but surely making their way onto the C-site where the bloodbath is destined to begin in just a moment. Nyonza around the corner, goes for the dash in. Going to be able to find it. Hemmer going to get flashed out. Has to commit into something. A gravity well finds Mock. Romy and Nyonza going to get traded out, though. It's looking really good for UBC in what could be the final round. Yams takes down Townrock as well. Jeff is going to be able to pick up Coco. Carno finds Outshine, and all of a sudden a 4v2 turns into a 2v2. 3 ultimates on the board. I hate to call it a now or never moment, but if UBC wants to make this happen, I mean, this is going to be it. The Hunter's Fury coming out from Jeff. Let's see what they're able to do with the back of it. Hemmer waiting patiently, only has that Sheriff to the name. There's Yams with that third kill. Only one more remains. They know where his location is, and there it is. Not quite yet. Hemmer can't find it. 1v1 to the highest degree, and Carno puts it down, getting that double digits to Akuma. They are going to keep this game alive.
So you asked me if I would pop the Empress last round. Absolutely not. This round, that was the time to use it.
That
2v2,
was the destined time.
You have the best weapon on your side. I mean, Hemmer only had a sidearm, so that they're not going to be able to do too much with the Sheriff. And instead they keep it. I feel like that was a round they could have clutched, and if they're not able to win this one, that's going to be one they're going to really regret. They are able to buy this time, like we said. They lose this, and it's almost guaranteed to be overtime for Akuma, but they win this, and then, you know, that indecision becomes no more.
Yeah, certainly so. The indecision can make or break this entire situation. We see Outshine with the Op Shorty duo, that classic Jet gameplay, but Mock coming out super strong, eliminating Romy, taking that Breach ultimate offline. There goes Jeff as well. UBC, they're looking cool, calm, and collected. They are playing that classic play style we love to see from them. Things getting a lot a bit too close for comfort, and now they know they've got to pull no more. They have to pull punches no longer. They want to keep this engagement alive.
All right, down 2 people. It's going to be so difficult. Ultimates. Yeah, UBC has 3. They have none. And they're going to force their way on to B. But they're not even close to anything. So Carno has to be doing this without much of their kit already. I mean, the tripwires are gone. So that most of your abilities to stop entry just out the window.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult. Mock just barely surviving that engagement. Coco falling down 11 HP and will be taken out by Carno there. That's going to be a great engagement. Now you're only down by 1, and as long as Carno is alive, I'm so confident to say this can be turned around for Akuma Esports. Spike plant is going to come through. That's going to be unbelievably crucial in the next round, of course, if there is one. But UBC, you've got 3 ultimates. I mean, you're running out of time to use them. I think a Neural Theft would go the absolute distance here. You just have to find that kill.
Cosmic Divide going to come out. Yeah, that's interesting. It's what's across the point, and all the look at these rotations that are coming out from Akuma.
Nyonza's on the flank of a lifetime right now as well, but Yams going to be able to find that kill. Nyonza finds 1. Nyonza finds 2. Do we see 3? A great smoke in, but Outshine finds that counter kill. Tone Rock will not fall yet, but will go down. Outshine takes them offline, and no ultimates will be needed there other than that Cosmic Divide, and more than enough time to defuse the spike. 5.67 seconds remain, but UBC, they walk away from Haven with a 13-10 victory.
Wow, what a matchup. That's the closest Haven we have seen in UPL for quite a bit. 13-10, and that was one that could have still kept going. Akuma, you know, that flank from Nyonza could have just sealed the deal there for UBC. It could have forced another round. It could have forced an overtime. But there, just too clutch there from Outshine, able to put it away, able to finally clutch up in the most opportune just chance, and here we are. That is going to be Haven going the way of UBC, but not the way that they've been winning maps recently.
Amazing. Yeah, UBC's map pick, they win it just barely. Like we said at the beginning, they've been winning Haven's 13-2s, 13-3s, and they win it 13-10. So this is very clearly a close match. We'll be jumping into Split after this short break. That's going to be Akuma's map choice. But like I said, we're going to be throwing it to a break. So everybody use this time. Get up, get water, stretch, do whatever you need to do, but come right back here, because if Split is even remotely as close as Haven was, I mean, this is going to be an amazing map. We'll see you right back here in just a couple of minutes. What is going on, everybody, and welcome back. I hope you guys missed us as much as we missed all of you. At least I hope so. Don't tell me if you didn't. I'm fragile. Anyway, I'm Septilins, joined by Jag and Cass, and we are going to be bringing you the second and hopefully not last map of the evening. I would love to see us go all the way to that third and final map. But Jag, going into Split, a map we don't see as often, what compositions do you expect here?
Well, I mean, you and I were talking about this before. I expect a Raze if we do double duelists.
So.
I think Jet and Raze are probably the best option. You and I were talking about this in depth before we went live. Reyna, not nearly as good as she would be on Ascent, on other maps like Bind, or, maybe, I mean, Bind I actually would say it's more of a Raze map anyway, but, and the map we just saw on Haven. Raze is so good because there's so much high ground here, and because of her blast pack, she can get up and Atom into places that, you can't over Reyna, and she does is really good of high ground control with her, paint shells, but we'll have to see how that all ends up. The biggest thing I was thinking about during that break was, man, that breach pick. I really hope we don't see it again. I think it could have worked out really well, and I think it would have actually worked out much better if Akuma was on attack first.
I agree.
But they were playing for halftime. They were playing for the second side swap, and they did hold their own. I mean, 10-13, one of the better scorelines I've seen against UBC as of late, but it still wasn't enough for them to get over that winning line.
Yeah, I think you're 100% correct. The breach pick was, I mean, you guys all heard our reactions when it happened. It was something we definitely did not expect to see. And speaking of things I didn't expect to see recently, not here at the UPL, but a couple of other places where I've had the opportunity to cast Valorant, I've seen teams bringing out Viper on Split a little bit more. And I don't think that's the worst idea. I know there's a couple of great one-ways in the area, and if you're able to utilize those, it can work out super well. The Viper's Pit is insane on both sites. It really covers the majority of the entire thing. So do you think Viper could be a viable pick? And if so, who do you take out of a team comp?
Yeah, I think it does work, and I think you don't play it like you do an Icebox, so I still think you need a primary controller like an Astra or a Omen, but it can work more as, I would say, like Killjoy
I'm
Sky
a genius!
Pick. And yeah, there it is. This is actually not super new, I would say, to Split overall. The biggest thing is, that is a very excited look out of Septilins.
They picked Septilins.
Yeah. This was actually very OG Valorant, I would say. Like one of the first
Right.
competitive scene. Like I'm thinking like First Strike, like back to
Yeah.
Sentinels. The Sage Viper combination was very normal on this map. And
No!
oh, that is another breach. So Rummy really wants to run it down of that. I think it'll work better this time though. And like I said, you play the Viper with a primary controller, so you give up a duelist. But this composition coming out from Akuma, I really like. It's the Killjoy that kind of I'm
Yeah.
wondering about. Because you had the Viper, and I feel like the Viper kind of does the job of a Killjoy already.
Well, also, you're starting on attack, and while Killjoy is versatile more so than Cypher, she's still not a great attack-sided agent. She obviously goes for setups, retakes, so on and so forth. And not to take away from your point, but I want to jump over to the player we were just spectating. Mach is on Sage now. Going from Cypher to Sage is a huge change in play style.
Yeah, and Coco is going to be swapping over to the Cypher, so they still have one. It's just a different player playing it.
Right.
It is a different play style. I feel like you can be more aggressive on a Sage actually than a Cypher overall, but you do have to stay alive. You're the only healer on your team right now, so making sure you have that healer ready to go is super important, unless it's Yams on the Reyna who can heal themselves. But again, like this is a normal thing, especially on defense, on offense too. Honestly, very similar to the Viper. It denies space if you use your slow orb or the wall, or it allows you to enter, especially on attack. That wall from Sage should be really good here on this map, just to allow you to get down to a point.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to keep an eye out here to see if UBC can engage with this Sage. I also want to point out, we talked about this last week or last time we were here, but this is the second map in a row in a grand finals, not a Sky in sight. And that just goes to show how she has really fallen out of the expected meta.
Yeah, Sky is completely just... It's interesting because Jet's still there, and I feel like her nerf was actually worse than Sky's.
I agree.
Instead, people are just trying to go for double duelists, and Reyna's been kind of, I say, filling the hole that Sky left.
Oh. Speaking of holes, Yams is putting quite a few into Akuma Esports right now, able to find 2 eliminations. Carno does find that trade on to Hemmer, but Coco is going to find that counter kill. Carno goes down to Yams with a 3K with a Frenzy. UBC looking mighty good so far in the pistol round. However, this is how they looked last time, and things got real close real early on. So let's see if UBC can walk away with a couple more round wins.
No matter how this series ends, there has to be a lot of respect to Akuma and how far they've
100%.
4th seed, negative win-loss coming into this. Just 3 maps won, 3 maps was all they faced. That last map was the first loss they've had in the entirety of the playoffs. And this is not a bad start. UBC, the only time we've seen them play this, they did really well in that match against Winthrop, I believe. No, actually, that was against OC. They were able to bounce back after having that really close loss on Ascent. And it's okay that you lose the first pistol round. You're able to win the last one on Haven. You're able to win the second one, so you're not out of this by any means.
Alshine doing my favorite thing in the entire game to do, sit on that corner with a judge, and it works absolute wonders. Able to find a 3K in garage, and that exact same thing happens every time I do that too. Definitely always 100% of the time. Works super well like that. Yeah, absolutely. And Alshine is just storming in, looking for the 4th. Do we see an ace? No way! No way! It's a judge ace! Oh my god! Oh, I love it. I love it so much. I love this map. I love the judge. The only thing that could have made that better is if Alshine was playing a raise. But by golly, was that an amazing play nonetheless.
It's interesting. We've seen 2 aces, now 1 from each team. I believe we saw it from Carno last time on the side of Akuma when they were on the Cypher. Both of them have been within the first 2 rounds of a half. The last time I think it was on a pistol round, or maybe it was. Actually, I think it was the second round after it. That was with a ghost, this time with the judge. Both teams, no matter how this ends, they have had some amazing individual and team plays. And now Akuma, they can answer back this time around. They might have been handed an ace. They might have been flawless against them, but this time they have the bye that UBC does not. It looks like we have a pause.
Yeah, it looks like a pause maybe coming in. I believe somebody crashed. Apparently Jeff did on the side of Akuma Esports, so that Viper taken offline. And yeah, there we go. That disconnect does come through, unfortunately. Let's see if... we're going to have to wait for that player to return. This is not an unranked game. We will not just continue without them. So we will need Jeff to come back to us. But, Jag, this is a great opportunity. This is Akuma Esports' time to shine, right? This is their bonus round. Do they need to do anything specific, or do they just play Valorant because they know they've got the fire rate advantage?
I think you get Romy going. I think Romy has to be the star in this, hitting their Aftershock or some sort of ability here to really just get them onto the point. Because, again, like we have seen that Romy has been able to stun people, but the follow-up hasn't been there on Haven. This time around, if you need this breach pick to work, they have to get their engine revved up.
Yeah. 100%. I think you're totally spot on. And Nyonza here choosing to peek the corner without the boom buddy or without a nade or paint shells to make noise. That's interesting. They're going for the slow peek around. However, looks like Outshine waiting on that corner, has a judge. Great gravity well, though, is going to be able to create a little bit of space for Akuma Esports. There's that bomb buddy I wanted moments ago. Yams with the dodge of a lifetime, playing it slow, able to get out of the line of sight. Is slow coming out now. Is going to discourage some folks from getting in the line of sight of Outshine. Has to dash out. A great flash coming in from Akuma. Now it's going to be even more difficult for UBC to retake this fight. However, Yams from behind takes out one, takes out two.
Gets
Takes
three.
out three. Oh, by golly, Yams. That is a clip and a half if I've ever seen one. Tone Rock goes down, and a round that started so strong. It was a slow one, but Akuma was looking good, and now UBC, Yams, has almost single-handedly ripped them to shreds.
Has the Empress, still has the overheal, doesn't even need to pop the Empress right now. Now Karno
Jeff is currently behind him, though.
Yeah, that's true. So that could be a very big flank if they go for it, but no, instead they go through sewer, so now they're going to try to group up, and there's no one to group up to. Now it's just Jeff.
Now it's just Jeff grouping up on his own, so doesn't even have the Viper's Pit, doesn't have anything to group up with. No wall or anything.
Doesn't have the spike.
Doesn't even have the spike. I mean, you don't go for a save. You just go to be the hero here. But Coco is going to be able to find that, and this is dominant. That is the round statistically Akuma is supposed to win, but UBC doesn't even give them the time of day. Goes up 3-0. This is Akuma's map pick, by the way.
Yeah, it is. And this is where UBC, this is what I was talking about before on Haven. This is where they look the most dangerous. When they take that bonus round away, that is when they start rolling. That is when their momentum just continues to build. Their economy is just unstoppable after a few rounds, and the snowball begins. Akuma, like if they aren't able to pick up not this round, because this is going to be a save, but the next round after this, that's when their economy is going to continue to be buy, not buy, buy, not buy. And that's where UBC is just so hard to beat. Once they get that snowball going, it just rolls down the hill.
Oh, but Yams goes for that kill. Had they found one more bullet, would have been able to take that raise offline, but unfortunately, that one bullet did not come through. Now, Coco, a little bit overzealous as well. This is shocking to me. That is two large mistakes in a row. Looks like Aoshan's going to be able to take out Nyonza. Okay, here's the kill onto Karno. So the equalizer does come through. It looks like Aoshan's going to storm in, picks up Romy. And, you know, I made a comment. I said, UBC, they're looking a little sloppy. And they said, what do you mean? Watch this. And now Tonrock will go down as well. Yeah, okay. So I'm UBC. I'm sorry.
I mean, they do lose quite a bit of members. They lose 3 along the way in a round that really should have been pretty one-sided. So a great job by Akuma to not only get that spike planted, but also get quite a few eliminations. UBC still should have enough to buy here fully, but it does set their economy back quite a bit. So it's not as stable as it would be if they'd gotten, you know, a flawless or only 1 elimination on their side, which means Akuma does have a win condition. They can buy here, they win this, and all of a sudden, you know, that lead that UBC has isn't as big as it looks early on. But if UBC continues to win, then, you know, those blemishes, it's like the report card. Oh, you got like a B- one semester. Well, you got the A+ the next one, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
I hate that I was talking about academics. I've been out of college.
Absolutely. Yeah. First of all, how dare you bring up academics while we are watching Valorant? How dare you ruin a great moment like this by talking about
You're right.
school?
You're right.
But it was a good analogy, to be fair. Credit where credit is due. It was a good example. But Jeff now is going to be able to turn corner onto Coco. Yams finds the counter kill straight away. Just an immediate tie up there. The revenge kill is going to make it that much harder for Akuma to come through. Jeff goes down, so you lose a lot of your smokes, a lot of your areas. And Karno, that was weird. I think Karno was trying to line up the headshot. Luckily enough, does get that first kill, but Hemmer's around the corner. Gets that secondary trade in. Going to be that 3v3. Resurrection was taken offline, though, which is going to be great for... I'm sorry, I don't think she has it yet, actually. I'm colorblind, guys. I can't tell. Either way, UBC, they are definitely in the driver's seat. Hemmer taking out Nyonza to keep that in the same position. The spike, and actually everybody else is currently going to be on that B site. Slow rotation from Akuma now. They have absolutely no idea where anybody from UBC is, and you can tell by just their play style. They feel trapped. They feel a little bit cornered.
Yeah, I mean, they actually have the better positioning, I say, right now. And Yams could have tried to go for the flank. Instead is looking for A because they haven't moved. They think that they're going towards A, but Hemmer now actually might be in the best positioning depending on how they decide to play this.
Hemmer finds one. The spike still in favor of Tonrock, and yeah, I mean, look at that. We've got Yams literally as far away as can be. He's going for a flank on the mid, but nobody's there. Tonrock has more than enough time to put this spike down. That one-to-one trade out here. I mean, I would expect the Cosmic Divide to make an appearance here. I think that is not a throw pick. I think that would be a super intelligent play, but it looks like Hemmer has no idea where Yams is right now.
Yeah, I still think that Hemmer, don't believe that's Hammer. I believe Hammer is on UBC as well. So we'll figure
you're
out
right.
that name in a second. It's okay.
This Astra player.
Yeah, there it is, Tonrock. So
Tonrak.
Tonrock right now has good positioning because if they hear the spike defuse, they have the perfect avenue. And Yams now, Yams, yeah, it looks like they did see the bullets.
Yeah, the bait. It looks like Yams is going to be able to. Oh, doesn't stick to half, though. I think that would have been the play. You're already so close. You're getting to the latter half of this. Sends out a Lear on the corner and has to give up. Tonrak, somehow, and gets the kill onto Yams. By golly, what a way to win a round and get to held on to the Cosmic Divide, which I fully expected to make an appearance.
I talked about how important that round was, and all of a sudden, UBC, it looks like their house of cards, or deck of cards, is going to fall a little bit. It's not the cleanest round win from Akuma, because they did lose almost everyone except for Tonrock.
Right.
But they can buy UBC. It looks like they can too, so not the end of the world just yet. There, Yams just had to realize they had the advantage. Had to run in. I mean, they had the Empress. They also had much better health pool. But instead, they took their time, and because of that, it cost them the round.
That round could be the beginning of the end. Like you said, 3 ultimates currently at the ready for Akuma. Only the Empress available for UBC. I want to see what is going to happen here. Do they choose to engage with a lockdown or a Cosmic Divide? And that Cosmic Divide is going to be the ultimate of engagement. Hammer, the double blast back in. That was a scary one. Nyonza in the corner. Going to go for that spike plant. Has more than enough time to get it down. Took some damage, though, in the process, I believe, just a bit. Outshine going for that knife kill. Here comes a lockdown as well. Akuma maybe putting one too many eggs in the basket, but if they win the round, it'll all be worth it.
Yeah, at this point, again, it's early, so it's okay to use so many ultimates. I don't think anyone's gonna be.
Oh my god! No way!
Oh my god! It finds no one. What?
That happens to me every time. That happens to me every time I use that. Literally would have been a 5K had it been a wee bit closer. Nyonza still might get a 5K though. Now Coco will be able to find that spray and pray. Carno takes out Hammer in the same breath. Now it's gonna be Romy on the high ground, finding Coco. Oh, and there goes Mock. It is Outshine versus the world. Finds 1 elimination, needs to find 3 more. Just can't line them up. Carno takes down that 3rd elimination, and Akuma Esports puts their 2nd round on the board.
Now they are looking like they are on their way. It's still another buy from UBC. Their economy not done just yet. I think someone's going to have to buy for Coco. Probably going to be Mock, who has the most credits on the team. Outshine going to commit to the judge, so looks like they want to find a little bit more of success with that shotgun, which isn't surprising because they have been extraordinary. I mean, they did have an ace just a few rounds ago. But Akuma, they do build up a lead. I guess the question that I have on my mind, and you'd kind of mentioned it, was that too much of an overcommitment for ultimates? Because now
I
they
think
only have
so.
1 left.
I think that was seriously an overcommitment. I don't think the showstopper was necessary. I think they were looking for a highlight there, which, to be fair, they were very close to finding. But they used 3 ultimates there. I think they only needed to use the 2. They've got the Viper Spit to boot, but UBC is so far in the lead with ultimates now. Mock is going to be able to find a kill on Nyonza, so the showstopper wouldn't have made an appearance this round anyway. I love the Guardian. I can't use it, but I love players that can. I think it is such a fun gun.
You're basically just saying I don't have enough aim, and I don't either.
That's me.
So don't worry.
That's me. I'm a Reinhardt player in a very similar game. Okay, aiming has never been my strong suit.
Very fair. I'm a support player, so I know how it feels. In the meantime, UBC, they have gotten 2 kills. They do have a very weak Reyna, but I think the biggest thing is UBC, they now have built up this Resurrection, which has taken quite a bit to get online. 6 rounds now for Mock. They finally get it, and even though they already have this 1-person lead, if they do lose 1 more, they could try to use it to turn the tides.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. But if Mock goes down,
Ooh.
I can't do much about that, huh? The only player in game that can technically resurrect themselves, I believe, is KO. So Sage, she is missing a couple. She has too few cybernetic enhancements to really make the magic happen there. Romy is going to get caught in the tripwire. Coco on the corner. I don't know what Coco was doing there, but Carno simply did not mind putting a bullet in the dome. Here comes some action from Yams, a great leader onto the high ground. It's going to give away your position, but gives you the opportunity to rotate out. Romy going on the high ground now, looking for that shot opportunity toward Yams. They're going for that aggressive spike plant. However, it's Yams on the corner. There's one. No, Romy! Fantastic reaction time now. A 2v2, but Hammer will take out Romy. It is up to Tonrak once again, but the spike gets defused before they can engage. UBC, they put another round away, 5-2.
I don't think the spike was even planted. I think they just ran out of time there.
Oh, I thought it was. I'm sorry.
No, it was very close. I think Romy stopped it just at the last second because of that kill that came through on their teammate. And I honestly thought Romy was the target originally, but instead they didn't. They lived to fight another day and then immediately, again, tried to go for the plant. And we're taking out Tonrock just was so far behind there. No way to get back into that engagement. And even if they did, it was a 1v2, so not looking too good. But the good thing for Akuma is, despite that, they still can buy here. But if they lose this, then UBC is going to be guaranteed at least a tie at halftime.
And that would be, I mean, best or the worst best case scenario would be that tie at halftime. You can guarantee that Akuma doesn't walk away with any kind of lead, but Akuma would have to win the next 5 to take an advantage at half.
Good start.
A very good start indeed. Now Nyonza is going to be able to find a kill, gets traded out. However, Mach will also fall. Let's see what happens. Nyonza with the 3. Only 2 short. Let's see if they can get anything off the back of this. I mean, it looks like they have carried Akuma into another round win. Outshine takes out Carno. It's going to be that 3v2. Oh my goodness, Nyonza is looking for an ace of their own, possibly the 3rd ace of the evening. However, Outshine's got the flank, the rotation. They think the Jets on the high ground. No! Nyonza turns the corner at the worst time, hides in the corner though. I hope the ace isn't stolen. Let's see if it makes an appearance. Giving yourself away. Let's see that headshot, Nyonza. No! Romy! That hurts, but when you're in a situation like that one, you've got to guarantee yourself that round win.
Yeah, at that point, the ace is obviously an awesome play. Getting 5 kills yourself in a round, or even 6, because the resurrection, that is a potential possibility that could come out. But you're just going for the round win. Now you're only within 2. At this case, 9-3 is the worst that could happen. And again, that's very far away for UBC, and UBC actually can't buy. So this is the first time in quite a while where they cannot afford to go for those assault rifles. Instead, going to have to go for sheriffs and classics.
And the one all of a sudden,
they've turned things around.
Yeah, and the one ult I'd expect from UBC, they don't have. That Blade Storm, only 5 out of 7 right now. Coco almost turns into a no-no there. It's almost taken offline entirely. I think it was 5 HP. Might have been able to make it out. Getting healed up, but I mean, come on. That only heals you for like 60, and you weren't even healed all the way up. Yams finds a kill, but Nyonza on the corner. I've got to say, Nyonza very clearly much more comfortable on this Raze than the Jet we saw on Haven. Was bottom frag on Haven, but it's really coming to life here on Split with this Raze. Romy is going to be able to find that kill onto Outshine. 3v2. UBC, they are expected to lose this round. And I'm incredibly curious why Akuma decided the Viper's Pit was necessary here.
I mean, especially after the lockdown. That's like 2 big ultimates. You use that control areas, and then Nanoswarm takes out Mach, and now it's down to Hammer, who does have a Phantom, and you've used so much. You do that to Team Ace, which is pretty exciting.
I love those.
Before we asked if it was too much, and they have brought it back to within 1, so it doesn't seem like it cost them then. But this ultimate economy is now completely in UBC's favor, and they can buy once more.
Yeah, this is... I don't know. I'm unbelievably curious why the Viper's Pit was called there. Perhaps, maybe we can shame it up to a misclick, but you'd have to misclick like 4 things in a row to actually commit a Viper's Pit like that. So I don't know. Maybe Jeff had something in mind. Maybe they were just securing that round win because they know how close they are to tying it up. But all things considered, I think that's really going to hurt them in the long run.
Yeah, they still have the Rolling Thunder, which could be a great entry ultimate, especially if they use it right now. They'd catch out EMs, but for now they're going to hold on to it.
Outshine's got to have to hit this first shot or Yams will die. And actually, there's that breach roll you asked for. It's going to be making that appearance. Another showstopper, but Yams finds that kill. Going to go in for another one, it seems. Just diving in the mid here. And, Tanrock will fall as well. Or will be able to knock down Yams. I'm sorry. Tanrock didn't do anything but get a kill. Down to 30 HP, though. That could have hurt them. We see the breach has taken a lot of damage as well. Romy cannot be any higher than 60 HP.
Where did Nyonza go? They jumped right past everyone there. And again, the showstopper has been stopped. But it looks like this is going to be a fake out, and this is really good for Akuma.
Yeah, very good. You're able to get rid of that Sage, but Outshine just decided that it should be a little bit harder for you. Jeff choosing to bring out the op and has the line of sight perfectly lined up. Swaps back to the Phantom. Doesn't want to rely on that as much, and Jeff, there we go. The player who disconnects made sure their ping was back in swing, able to tie things up 5-5. This is such a good game of Valorant. I'm just so happy that we're actually getting good Valorant.
Yeah, it looks like, this could be a lead for Akuma, and at the worst, probably a draw, because this will be a round that should go their way. This is another save for UBC. Their economy has not been attacked now for a few rounds. I was really worried for Jeff. They had that lineup, like you said, and then immediately swapped back to the Phantom, but it ends up working out regardless, so just you could breathe a little bit, Akuma fans. They are definitely in this map, and they're in great positions to have that lead at halftime.
That lead at halftime would be such a pace changer from what we're so used to with UBC. They feel like they are in there, or we feel like they are in the lead every single time we see them, but instead, this team getting a run for their money like no other. Akuma, they've tied things up. They have no ultimates. UBC, Bladestorm currently active, the other 4 at the ready at the push of a button. Let's see if UBC can guarantee at least a tie at halftime. Or maybe Akuma walks away with a 7-5. Coco gonna get taken out by Jeff early, who Jeff on this Viper so far has just been chef's kiss perfect from what we've seen up to this point. Truly an incredible player, and I really want to see what comes off the back of this.
Yeah, the aggression that this composition from Akuma can bring out is just been incredible, and it looks like they're going to run away with this round unless something amazing happens here with this Blade Storm.
Maybe somebody aces, but at this point, it's feeling less and less likely. Yams finds a kill. Outshine down to 22 HP. Finds 2, though. That's huge. You were able to tie things back up. The Reyna got up and overhealed. Let's see if they're able to capitalize off the back of this. Will Carno check the corner? They won't. Suddenly, the world is on Romi's shoulders. Around that started so strong for UBC. Mach committing the res. Another ultimate. I'm very confused why it's being used, but these players would dunk on me any day of the week, so maybe they've got a couple tricks up their sleeve.
I mean, you might as well use it now because you never know if you'll get to use it another time. So give yourself a number, and Mach just falls. So now it's on to Yams and Hemmer.
No way. Oh, and all of a sudden, the res is worth it. I mean, Hemmer comes through, finds that kill onto Romy, and secures at least at least a draw in the half, at least a tie. A thrifty round win for UBC, really looking good, but do they walk away with that 7-5 on the halftime, or is Akuma going to keep things tied at that 6-6?
The fact that they win that in a thrifty fashion lets them buy this time around. They didn't buy last time, so now they can bring out all the big guns. Outshine has the Operator, Mott going for that Odin. It's just huge, and like you said, the Resurrection, it's completely worth it. Hemmer gets that final shot, and maybe, you know, if things ended up differently with that drop, maybe they wouldn't need Hemmer, but there they stay alive, they pick up their own weapon, and all of a sudden they are, you know, in the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is a draw instead of a loss, so that is much better than what we expected.
100%. 100%.
Bot coming back.
Is Carno going to make the mistake? Oh, it was Romy. I'm very confused on how Carno didn't just get collateraled there. They were in the scope, but somehow they lived long enough. Mach finds Nyonza with that classic stick to the wall Sage gameplay. I don't think they're aware somebody's right on the other side. I believe it's Tanarok. Yeah, patiently waiting, believes the Sage to still be on the wall, but I don't think Mach is going to hop back up there quite yet.
This is going to be kind of just a game of chicken. Yams
100%.
could be there for the flank too, but Jeff is actually in mid, so the rotation game is coming in strong. Akuma, they only have that lockdown, and I believe they're going to try to use it to get onto a point, but they want to take over mid first. That seems like the name of the game. They really want to take over this high ground.
Where is the spike is down right now? It looks like they're just barely going to be able to snatch it back up. Carno grabs it, possibly going to go in for a push toward B, commits the lockdown. That makes a little bit more sense. Bringing on the lockdown, but Yams finding Jeff. You're in a 2v5. Best case scenario, you take a couple out on the way out the door, but this is the last game, the last round in the half. You're going to want to find those kills to win the round, not just to unstabilize an economy. Nobody's going to get caught out, and Hemmer on the back corner will not even get taken out. Tanrak finds Yams. Currently in a 1v4, the Astra, no Cosmic Divide in sight. Tanrak finding Mach, though. Got to do that just 3 more times. You simply have to ace to tie things up. And I don't think that's going to happen. Outshine with the shorty.
They went to the astral plane, and I don't think they realized how far forward they were. They actually fell off the high ground, I believe, while they were in the astral plane. So they took that fall damage, and then immediately they were shot up. So UBC turned disaster into a 2-round advantage. That thrifty round from them was so big, especially because we hadn't really seen as many. Like, Akuma was the ones generally getting thrifty rounds. That being said, Akuma has kept this even closer than the last map, 7-5. They're at a disadvantage, but that is they win this pistol round, they are back up to even. So right now, this is still anyone's game. And Akuma has a lot on the line here. They lose this, and this series is over.
Yeah, and I definitely want to think. I mean, we were at what 8-4 on the half last time, I believe. So we're definitely going to be a notable change here, 7-5, and only a 1-round difference, right? But it's definitely in favor of Akuma Esports, and it looks like we're gonna have a bit of a technical pause here. I believe there's a bug on one side or the other. I'm not sure, but somebody's bugged, and of course we want to make things work out well for everybody. We want to make sure everybody can play the fairest game possible. Akuma, though, Jack, let's talk a little bit more about this breach. This breach recently hasn't been making the appearance that I necessarily want him to. I think it's a very unusual choice. Romy really seems to be sticking to it. Do you think that is making or breaking anything for Akuma?
I think it definitely made some rounds that we saw them win on the attack before the side swap. I think, again, like, his entry is just so good. His Rolling Thunder, I think, is one of the most underrated ultimates in the game because the CC, like the knock-up ability when you, like, basically stun someone and they're in the air for a little bit and then it's kind of, like, wonky, like, oh, like, I can see, but I can't see as well. It's very undervalued because it makes it very hard to fire. I think it's just as good as a blind honestly, or a flash. But the question is, it's all about team play. Like, it's all about playing around those abilities. And a lot of time we're seeing that Romi's kind of just doing it for themselves, or just like there's no one else there to back them up. So you really need someone like a Jet who can go in fast to take advantage of those CC abilities.
Speaking of going in and looking for an advantage, UBC, they are just storming mid right now. They lose Coco very early on, and all of a sudden they're caught in mid with no kind of reconnaissance, which, to be fair, you're on the attack, so it's not really the end of the world, but they've really given away everything they had. Their location is made clear, and like you said, if Akuma wins this, they're tying us up 7-7.
Yeah, they win this, it'll be a second run almost guaranteed unless it's another 50, but Carno's taken out, so it's even.
Oh, Hemmer taking a little bit of fall damage there, I believe. Maka is going to be able to find that kill on the Ions, but they've traded out Outshine in the process of 3v3, and Tonrak finds a kill, but Jeff, in the blink of the same eye, is gone. These Astros have no idea how close they are to one another. Yams on the far corner, taken out by Tonrak. Oh, Hemmer is going to be able to find that kill in a 1v1 scenario. Romy, a little bit of that HP advantage, and it makes all the difference at the end of the day, able to find that kill onto Hemmer. Akuma, they've won the pistol round, but they lost almost everyone to do it.
Yeah, but it's not going to matter because you don't care about those weapons. In the end of the day, you're going to buy anyway. So Spectres for the whole squad. And just like the last map, they do win that second pistol round. UBC is going to probably find themselves at a tie ball game unless they can find something amazing here. This might be honestly the time that you force buy. It is a big risk, but considering that you're up already in the series, losing this map isn't the end-all be-all. Looks like they are not going to do that beyond one Sheriff. And we'll have to see if they can, you know, do anything thrifty here.
Yeah, let's see if they can give us another thrifty. UBC, they are certainly no strangers to giving us thrifty rounds, but it's going to be a really difficult thing to do here, especially if they continue to push through mid. They've got a mild low ground advantage. There's some KJ setups to really keep them on a B site. We may be seeing a quick rotation around into that A site, however. They're currently going to be just vibing, giving some good old vibes in the mid. Carno, 5 HP turns to nothing as Coco finds a great kill. A trade onto Tonrak will guarantee UBC keeps that player advantage. The Sage is alive, could heal Coco, but Coco's out of line right now. Nyonza and Jeff are both going to be taken offline. Romy finds a kill onto Hemmer. You just have to do that 3 more times. A great flash in the corner, gets a little bit of recon, but not enough to find a kill. You've given yourself away entirely. I can only assume Romy's going to fight to take out as many as possible, and it looks like that kill onto Mach is going to be the first way to start it. I wanted this breach to make a difference. Is this his time to shine? No, Coco puts him down with a bullet to the dome. Another thrifty round in favor of UBC, keeping that 2-round differential.
And this is huge for UBC because now they get the bonus round as well. In fact, they might not even full buy here because they were able to pick up a few Spectres.
Right.
This is really bad for Akuma. That, like, losing the second round after the pistol round, that is almost guaranteed always. But the way they rotated into that, they just kept taking 1v3s. It seems like every time they're just running into a full squad from UBC. And then I think the biggest thing was Jeff losing that duel to Yams. I believe it was near ropes in mid. That was really the nail in the coffin there. And there, UBC now just able to take that 2-round lead once more. And we're going to be looking to make it 3.
Oh, Yams. I was going to say getting a little over aggressive, but it looks like a great play is going to be coming through there. Oh, but wait, that's over. The round?
It's done. Yep. Blink and you miss it there. That is a great attempt from Akuma. I really like the idea. Just, you know, when you realize you're at a disadvantage, do exactly what UBC did. Just everyone gets classics. Everyone runs it down mid. That time, though, they were not able to move quick enough. They moved way too cautiously with that approach, and they walked right into a Lear. And I think there was one more duel going on A. That was won by UBC, and
that was
only
hands
4
down
away.
The fastest round I've ever seen. Easily. That was like maybe 5 seconds.
Yeah, it felt like it just was an instant and it was gone. And now Akuma's gonna try to find a way back in. They do have a Cosmic Divide and they can buy here. They lose this. This is where things become very, very dangerous for them in not only this map, but the championship.
Yeah, I mean, these teams, they're fighting for first place. They're fighting for that prize pool. They're fighting for those bragging rights. And if UBC hits double digits on this round, I completely agree Akuma's going to be in a very tough position.
Yeah, again, this Killjoy can be more versatile than the Cypher, but can they lock the point down like Coco can on the Cypher? It's not as easy. You don't have the tripwire. You do have the Nanoswarm, but it's not automatically activated. The alarm bot is, but it's not as valuable, I would say. It only makes them vulnerable for a little bit as opposed to doing tons of damage. For now, they're not going to commit. And UBC playing this very cautiously overall.
Yeah, UBC playing this incredibly cautious. They don't want to overextend. They don't want to overcommit, because if they lose even one player, they can give Akuma that swing back into the momentum that they need. Jeff will fall thanks to a couple of great players on the side of UBC. A 2-for-1 trade. Mach gets to live to tell the tale, and it looks like Outshine will as well. That Resurrection finally making an appearance. 5v3, and it looks like UBC knows the very same as us. Wow! Nyonza with some incredible reaction time there. Takes out 2 players, and a 5v3 turns into a 2v2 in the blink of an eye. My goodness, Yams is going to be able to find Romy. It is up to Carno. Make sure this team stays in the game. Finds one wallbang kill down to 49 HP. Coco waits on it and pulls the trigger once to take out Carno and secure a 10th round win for UBC.
Unless this is going to be a great 50 grand from Akuma, it's going to be 11-6. They can't buy. They do have ultimates. And everything comes down to the showstopper. This is, I think you got to pull it out here. You got to just go for it. It has not gotten a single kill yet. There was that amazing, I don't even say it's a miss. I would just say that UBC cleared out fast enough. All 5 of them were grouped up in one area and it hit no one. It went straight into the wall. If that had been angled even slightly to one side, at least would have gotten probably 1 or 2. So this is Nyonza's moment to really step it up for their team.
This is that now or never moment. Nyonza has been overperforming, it feels, on this race, but unfortunately just not enough to keep the dream alive for UBC. Excuse me, for Akuma Esports. The dream is certainly alive for UBC. It's hardly a dream. It is almost a reality for them at this point. Carno now on the corner, giving us great patience. I like what Akuma's chosen to do. They're playing it a lot slower. They tried to walk into UBC, and they got absolutely stomped for it. Now they're waiting. They want UBC to walk into them so they can capitalize. Let's just see if they're actually able to do that.
And that's all the information they need now. That turret, I think, is going to give them a lot of information, and that's going to be, finally, the showstopper. Still doesn't get anything.
Now, I'm super confused how that one didn't get anybody. I think it hit Mach. Mach was down to 19 HP, but it just simply didn't get the kill. Nyonza already finding the 2 kills that have been found onto UBC. One with the gun, one with the shells. Let's see if they're able to pick up any more. They truly, like I said, are going above and beyond. It feels like Nyonza is simply carrying the 4 remaining players from Akuma Esports on their shoulders right now. Tanrock going for that tried and true, ripping Coco apart with the stinger. Here comes Outshine on the corner into Jeff. So many individual fights happening right now, and those fights can make all the difference. I mean, Akuma, they are 2 rounds away from keeping themselves in this.
Oh, Outshine gonna get one. Can they get another? Oh, going right into Jeff. And it looks like this is going to be another Thrifty going the other way.
No way. Oh, man. I was like, if Mach makes it out of that, I'm going to lose my mind. Jack, you asked for the Thrifty of a lifetime, and my friend, looks like we found one.
2 different ones, I feel. Like, the second round after this halftime swap, that one right there, Akuma, they do not go down without a fight again. They find a way to stay alive, and the ultimates are even 4 and 4 across the board. I said that showstopper had to come out. It did. It didn't get the elimination, but like you said, it hit Mach, got them weak enough where going into that decay was basically a death sentence. They were down to, I think, 13 health. That was just, again, like you sneeze on someone and you're going to fall there. That Viper not long, or actually, excuse me, that Sage not long for the world after the Viper came through, and Akuma now is back on their feet.
Yeah, and can we talk a little bit about, actually, I'll say that to the middle of the next round, but speaking of being back on their feet, Jeff has planted their feet in mid here, committing that Viper's Pit very early on. Yam's taking a bit of damage. Of course, the heals back up. It's just that natural decay, but that can really catch a player out. They can really make it difficult to engage. Coco and Nyonza playing a bit of chicken. Nyonza chooses to tuck tail and get out of dodge, but Tanrock on the high corner. Oh, no, Coco! Oh, Coco goes down. Tanrock, incredibly intelligent play there to not just immediately pull the trigger. They needed to make sure nobody else was going to be on that corner. Jeff taking Yams offline. Let's see what else can be done here. Oh, great spray onto Outshine, but Outshine will live to tell the tale. Viper's Pit goes down. Romy picks up the kill onto that Jet, and Akuma very well may have done it. It looks like they may be able to put their 8th round in the bag. Nyonza finds Hemmer. It is up to Mach, a 150 HP Sage. Has to get 4 eliminations to keep this in the swing of UBC, but doesn't even get to pull the trigger as Mach falls to Romy.
Just like that, Akuma, they are back in the swing of things. They are back in the game, and I believe that's going to be a save. Yep, it is going to be from UBC, so Akuma able to bring it just a little bit closer after having a pretty disastrous start to this round. Honestly, losing that second round after the pistol was very, very bad for their economy, but they have weighed themselves up. They have gotten off the floor. They've gone back. It's not about how you get knocked down, is it, Septulence? And here they are.
Absolutely not.
With this great weapons advantage going into this. And the ultimates still looking pretty strong overall.
Yeah, and let me talk very quickly about the dynamics, how they've shifted. Yams, 19 eliminations, Coco at 9, so that huge player differential. And then Akuma, only 4 eliminations between the top and bottom frag. So complete dynamic swaps from what we saw earlier on Haven. So that's a really interesting note to take, is that Akuma, they're starting to play much cleaner, much more coordinated as a team. And UBC, they're really relying on a couple of strong folks to keep this dream alive. Coco gets a tap, but unfortunately not a kill, taking a bit of damage in the process. Outshine missing every single blade, unfortunately, and losing their life to Jeff with the Phantom. A great opportunity now for Akuma to put their 9th round away. Tonrock falls 46 HP. So many players are low health, but nobody's gone down quite yet since that Jet. Jeff will fall. That Astra, she's out there somewhere, 46 HP to her name. And they are hungry for kills. Yams looking for a spray through the cage, not able to find it. Nyonza takes out Hemmer, though. Coco falling to Nyonza as well. Mach will get that kill, but the damage has been done. Yams going to tie things back up 2-2. This Sage, she's what, 12 HP, maybe?
That heal orb is not online just yet. 12 seconds
Oh,
off. If they're able to
wow.
stay alive, then they're going to be in a great position. They're also going to get closer to that res. I don't think they can find it this round, but in the spike plant will be huge. It's a 2v2, but Akuma right now has the best combination of ultimates to get you off of an objective, and really all they need is the lockdown here.
Yeah, I think committing both would be a mistake. I think the lockdown can buy you enough time to find a defuse, and actually, they're not even going to need them, most likely. Cosmic Divide does make an appearance. Let's see. No, Mach looks the wrong way, peeks the wrong corner. 57 HP, caught out in the crossfire here, not able to even find the kill onto Carno. That is going to be Akuma. They're going up 9-10. I'm scared for UBC, Jack.
Yeah, that was just such unfortunate timing there for both players on the side of UBC. Yams had the Empress out. Looks like they were in complete control of that scenario, and then they just looked away. They played mid instead of playing heaven, instead of playing high ground. They gave it up, actually, for free, essentially. And then they were caught without their gun, and there they lost that duel. And there, it was just unfortunate for Mach. They were the last person alive. They were caught between a rock and a hard place. They had to look at 2 different angles. And even though they saw that someone was trying to come from attacker spawn side, they were also getting pressured high ground. Not much you can do there. A great divide and conquer strategy from Akuma. However, UBC, I mean, that was a thrifty round for them, so the fact that it became that close is dangerous for Akuma. It means they had to buy more. It means that UBC now can afford it themselves.
A very aggressive lockdown. It looks like it's going to be just toward that mid-ish area. I believe it's going to be in that garage site, the one that we're very familiar with. And Nyonza already finding Coco. This Raze player has just been fulfilling my every dream and more. I love to see a successful Raze, and I hope one day to be one. But right now, Nyonza is just leading Akuma's charge time and time again, round after round. Carno is going to be able to find Outshine as well. Romy waiting patiently in garage here. Might be able to find a collateral. Nyonza takes out Mach. Gets traded out by Hemmer, but Romy on that far corner. It is going to also fall. Yams takes out Jeff, and all of a sudden, UBC, they're not quite back on top, but they've tied things up. Yams puts the knife out at the worst possible time, but they live to tell the tale this time. They're going to choose not to engage on the high ground. Carno gets a complete high ground advantage here.
Yams is actually still playing on high ground, so they do have that catwalk controlled. But they are split once more, and this is basically the exact same scenario they were in last time. I'm glad you like that. The thing is that Carno is actually splitting out themselves, so this is basically going to be 2 1v1s depending on how this plays out.
Unless Carno's aware of Hemmer's location, but it looks like they aren't. And Carno, yeah, definitely was not aware. Chooses to go for the E instead of the heal there, so very interesting. Goes for the fade instead of the heal. Maybe didn't have any heals online. We saw a couple make appearances already. Tonrock is just going to go right past the Leer. My favorite thing to do. Finds Yams. You've got to go for the defuse. Do they stick it? There's a comment saying in CSGO, pros don't fake, but it looks like Tonrock doesn't even get the choice. Hemmer will find that 3rd kill and give UBC their 1st round win in 5 rounds? 4 rounds?
3.
4
Only
rounds.
3, which is pretty crazy because it definitely felt like more than that.
I think it's because the score was so close, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And this has been a weird, like, succession of rounds because, again, like, the beginning of Akuma losing that 2nd round after the pistol just isn't something you see every day. But UBC continue to have that lead in their hands, at least for a little bit longer. The last round before that slipped away. This time they're able to clutch out. But this is still going to be of mostly full buy from both teams, and both teams do have ultimates to spend as well.
I would love to see this showstopper make an appearance once again. I feel like they've been sticking to mid so often that you could just pull and fire right at the beginning of the round and most likely get a kill, if not even just a little bit of damage. And that damage goes an insanely long way. I think we've seen that really proven in quite a few rounds so far. I just can only hope that Nyonza really keeps top fragging here on this Raze. I get a kick out of it every single time, but Let's see what comes out of this. A very slow rotation from UBC in the midfield. Coco just walks right into somebody's pre-fire. That is that's never a good idea.
Yeah, it forces the Sage heal as well very early on, so that's going to be offline for another 40-ish seconds, which means that UBC, they're playing at a bit of a disadvantage on having that healing orb online. The good news is they still have everyone. They also have the Res. Res is still there, and now it looks like they're going to use the Cosmic Divide to move on to A.
Yeah, the Cosmic Divide engagement onto A. Romy gets a great flash. Carno on the corner picks up Yams, gets traded out though. Romy able to find Outshine in the blink of an eye. 4v3. Jeff finds one, but Hemmer gets that immediate trade. 3v2. Romy finds Hemmer. There could be only a one-round differential. Coco currently 9 eliminations to their name. A very rough start of the round, almost falling immediately to somebody's pre-fire, and Romy doesn't even let them get the chance to breathe. 11-10. Akuma, they are 1 round shy of tying this up. Jag, overtime, yes or no?
I think, honestly, Akuma might just take this in regulation. The way they're playing, they seem much more in sync overall. They seem much 100%. More aware of what's going on, and their ult bank is continuing to stay strong. They didn't use anything there. You see they commit the Cosmic Divide in a very awkward location. I feel like, if anything, it kind of cut themselves off because they had no idea who was going to be coming from heaven. I think there, if you're going to do that, you go into heaven instead of trying to go to take the point first. But the rotation, they tried it, didn't work out, and now they're going to have to save.
What a horrible time to have to do it as well. It's just these things didn't work out, getting a little bit overzealous. And to be fair, UBC, they've been very impressive with these sheriffs, but using a sheriff against, you know, a phantom, a vandal, so on and so forth, it is difficult. You really have to hit that first shot or you probably lose it. Now Outshine, using the worst version of the operator, has to tap the head to get the kill. And looks like Jeff might not go for the peak, chooses not to engage on it, and instead going to go for a possible rotation here through mid.
I mean, what do you do right now if you are UBC? Right now, Akuma, they're going to sit back and wait, right? Because they have the weapons, they're on defense, so UBC, they got to make something happen. This Pain Shields might give away where the raise is, but their ultimates that they have are more utility than they are aggression, so they can't really do anything with, you know, a Neural Theft, even if they do get that first kill.
And Nyonza is so courageous with these nades, too. They will sit on a corner and just wait, and when I do that, I die. Wow! What a flick from Outshine. Amazing shot. Hemmer takes out Jeff as well. Spike is in favor of UBC. The Neural Theft coming out as well. They're desperate to win this round. They want to give themselves that regulation win, if not just a guarantee into overtime. Coco down to 81 HP. The blast back coming out from Nyonza. No chance. They just solo out Coco. They give their life for the cause. Now a 3v2, but that Astra is no longer. They get a 2v1. Outshine finds one. You've got to find that Killjoy. It's all about playing the slow game right now. Going for the defuse. Possibly a bit of a bait. Going to give up on the high ground. You've given yourself away already, Outshine. You've just got to get in there. Carno going for the defuse. Halfway there, going for the fake out. Gets them to drop it before the half marker. This time they're going to stick a headshot into wallbang and a thrifty round win. Outshine getting a 4K to carry UBC to that 12th round.
That time it's Outshine stepping up so largely again. UBC, I mean, I'm commending Akuma on their 50 rounds. UBC has had quite a few here to close the distance and stay ahead. That time, again, the lead is still theirs. And this is match point. It doesn't feel like match point of how back and forth this is, but if UBC wins this, they win the championship, and it's done.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think they can buy next round. I don't think, I mean, again,
no chance.
They've had 250 rounds in a row, so maybe buying isn't even that important, but this is your best chance right now to win this game in regulation, and the series.
Tonrock, though, with the Marshall. I can't believe that was a headshot. You were staring at his torso, but I mean, hey, you know, tactical-based shooter coming through there. Marshall is going to make things crazy difficult for UBC to turn around. They lose their Cypher, but, you know, no offense to Coco, currently bottom frag, so I don't think losing the Cypher is the end of the world. But like you said, Mox got the Resurrection online. Maybe you go for it. Go for an early res, keep things tied up at that 5-5.
And that's exactly what it looks like they are going to do. The wall comes in, and yep, that is the res. And yep, everything's back to normal, except for the fact that they did lose 50 armor there. And oh, I mean, look at the Astra. Right now, the Astra, yeah, Hemmer taking a lot of damage.
Yam's about to be in for a rude awakening if Akuma chooses to peek that corner. Instead, they're going to go for a slow rotation. Coco, wins the fight! Coco gets that 10th kill. Final player to hit double digits in lobby. Romy will fall early, and Coco in a bad spot. Nyonza finds a kill onto Mock, blasts back out of the way. Jeff is going to find a kill as well, and I think Akuma's got this one in the bag. And if they win this one, I think they tie things up 12-12 because UBC cannot buy next round. They've either got to win here or we're probably going to overtime.
Outshine's still alive, though, and I think when you have this chat, that you have everything you could ever ask for. Akuma, they might want to commit ultimates here just to secure it. They do have that lockdown. They do have the Viper's Pit as well.
Viper's Pit would be kind of wild, and I don't think anybody would expect that to happen right now. And that would shake up point and make it really difficult for UBC to protect the spike when they needed to most. Hemmer going for the plant in the final 10 seconds, and Jeff on the slow peak onto high ground, giving themselves away. Outshine on the corner, turns in the worst moment, and it's over! Akuma Esports, they're going to win that round in the blink of an eye, and all of a sudden UBC, they've got their backs to the wall.
Well, my prediction's already gone because I said Akuma would win this in regulation, and that is not possible anymore as with that defuse, Tarnrock is able to get their Cosmic Divide on online. They're going to have a big weapons advantage here. I'm interested to see, this is a force buy. And Outshine actually has quite a lot of credits, so they might be able to buy for someone else on their team. I doubt they'll go for the Operator on attack.
Oh, you
that
can't.
might allow... We'll have to see how this ends up going down.
Oh, they're going to buy for 2 in Blade Storm.
Ooh, interesting. So that's a very big team play. Will it pay off, though? Because you are the top fragger on your team. Yams also very close. But like you said, Coco has been struggling a little bit. Remember, this was a role swap. Coco before was not playing the Cypher. They were playing the Sova. And it was Mach they swapped with. And, well, they're in a much closer pickle here.
Yeah, this is certainly a pickle. And not the good kind. This is not the kind of pickle that you would enjoy on a bird.
And I love pickles, too. So
I love pickles. Oh my goodness, pickles are a great food. We're gonna get yelled at. People in chat are gonna yell at us.
I mean, our producer just yelled at us.
Yeah, our producer's wrong. No, pickles are great. Anyway, this is literally gonna be the last round of the grand final, so we're talking about pickles. Let's focus back up on the game just a little bit. Carno, almost the first frag, but down to 46 HP. No healing on the side of Akuma. Jeff! Oh, caught out by Coco. Is there another one? Oh, it's Nyonza. Able to find that counter kill. Taken out by Yams in the blink of an eye. UBC, this double buy, already making themselves worth it. 2 ultimates, the Cosmic Divide, the Blade Storm already ready. 2 ultimates from Akuma as well. I mean, I expect these ultimates to start running rampant.
Cosmic Divide locked in on the other side as well. So Akuma, so they still have things to play with. They already used the Viper's Pit and it's gone off the board. I think they realized UBC, they realized how much is at stake. So they're going to, again, go for the same, I think, Cosmic Divide pattern they did last time. But they have high ground control already. So this is a much better play than last time if they do use the Cosmic Divide there.
Oh. Cosmic Divide will make an appearance here from UBC. That's going to kind of give away that they're going for an A plant, and Mach is going to be able to find it. However, we're not in a situation where credits really matter, so now you're playing for full-blown defuse. I love the wall, except I think there's a hole on the other side that somebody might still be able to get through. Carno with that counter lockdown could be great. It's going to force everybody off of UBC, everybody from UBC off of site. However, they've got the spike down. That's all they really needed. Now they've just got to play that long game. They've just got to play it patient. Oh, the counter divide!
Yeah, they forced them off the point completely, and now it's going to force them to re-engage blindly.
Oh! That's colossal. Except I don't think Cosmic Divide goes down, right? It stays up even if she's down, but Hemmer is going to be able to find Romy.
This is it.
6 HP and no dream. A team ace! Our favorite thing to end the grand finals. UBC, they're going to win it 13-11 there. That was as close could be, my friends, and I am honestly devastated that it's already over.
Yeah, I am too. This had map 3 written all over it. This had, that tiebreaker ascent could have been where this battle ended, and this was a close one overall. That was the farthest they could go in regulation. Overtime would have been the only possible, opportunity beyond that to go a little bit further in this. But 13-11, 13-10, these maps were grinded out by UBC. They did not have the walk in the park they had in the last 2 rounds. But regardless, this championship, it seemed destined to be theirs with this glow up that they had a 3-2 team, the number 3 seed, just destroying teams left, right, and center that were number 1, number 2 seeds. And here they are. They have ascended to the throne, and they will be our Unified Premier League fall champions.
Absolutely amazing. These champions have sealed themselves in history. They have won the fall event, and they have really made a name for themselves in that process. You said it best, my friend. They tore the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed down and out, and they went all the way on to win those grand finals. But I'm very sad that grand finals is over because now we are done, at least for the time being. So that is one that hurts, but it's something that this is always a pleasure. I'll speak for Jagger myself for a moment, get a little bit sappy before we let you guys all go. But thank you, everybody, so much for watching. This is something that we obviously both love to do. Valorant is currently my favorite game to cast. It's one that I'm really hoping to hone in on. So being here every single week was an absolute pleasure. A huge shout out to Grant Hyper in the backline, our wonderful producer. Everything around us that isn't literally us, he did. Everything is amazing. So a huge shout out to him. Huge shout out to Casey and Betty, who were our observers throughout every single week. And of course, a huge shout out to every single team that came in, made a wonderful showing, gave us incredible games to cast. Jag, as always, Thank you so much for joining me. Casting with you just hits different than casting with anybody else. Is there anything you'd like to say before I bring us out?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I want to say thank you to the same people you just did, J2 as well, for us
Oh,
amazing
yes, Jay.
socials
Happy
coverage.
birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday! Thank you for making us look like superstars. I mean, the clips you get are amazing and really show us at our best, show the players at their best as well. This has been just an incredible season of UPL. Honestly, we
Absolutely.
came in for the summer, and I feel like it was kind of destined to be between two teams the entire year. It wasn't the team we expected to win; it was Converse winning that one out. This season has been a complete roller coaster. It's been a completely unexpected journey of who was at the end. Every week, it felt like it was anyone's game. And it's crazy that this journey has come to an end already. This fall has been wrapped up neatly with a bow on it. And yeah, it's just been an absolute pleasure being here. And, I can't wait for what comes next. And it's always amazing to be by your side, Septals, in the casting booth. There's no one else I'd want to be casting with this with than you.
Thank you, my friend. And yes, friends, I'm sorry we're sappy and we're sad, but we are devastated that this is over. We assume so many teams and viewers are as well. But for the final time, at least for the UPL Fall 2021 edition, check your posture, drink some water, and don't forget to love each other. We hope you guys enjoyed the season, and maybe we'll see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your night.